Okay, hello YouTubers, good evening. Look, what I'm trying to do tonight is, I'm always, just like every other ham or CB operator, I'm always trying to figure out how far I can go with my antenna, like how far will it work or what kind of antenna do I need, okay? So for most of you guys in ham radio and CB, especially if you're doing CB skip, if you're wondering what kind of antenna to get or how far that antenna will work, I found a free little deal online that you can go by. It's at this, let me see if I can show you this. There's the URL address, voacap.com. Okay, you go to that site and it's a Java enabled site, it operates off of Java. And what it does is you can look like, there's several different things on this page I'm trying to show you here that'll do. You look right here on this is the best one. The one on the upper left, click on that thing and see it's got 11 meter and point-to-point calculations. Watch this. Okay, anyway, on one side you'll see a map. Okay, you notice on the map that it's got like where you're wanting to go to. Well, actually in this case it's got where you're at, but if you scroll down here, whoops, hit the wrong thing. You scroll down here, you'll see your transmitter site. Okay, see what I'm going to do, I'm going to use pretty close to where I'm at. So you go down through, it's got all kind of places. You go down here till you see W. W is like North America, okay? On this page, on another page is a different way. I'm going to look for, say, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let's see if it shows it on here. Yeah, there we go, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I'm going to go with Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then down here on the bottom, it's just like you pull down this menu, it's got like what kind of antennas you could use. See, like it's got 2-element Yagi at 33 feet, 3-element Yagi at 33 feet. It's got them all the way up. It's got 3 elements all the way up to about 200 feet, okay? Or as I say, antenna height, the tower height. And it's got, down here, it's got your vertical antennas, you see, and like an 80 meter 125. Or say, look here, an 8-element Yagi at 198 feet tall. So you can pretty much like, see, there's 5-element Yagis, 3-element Yagis. They even got a 2-element Yagi right here. They got dipoles that are mounted at different heights. Let's say decide, well, if you got an existing antenna, this over here this right here will tell you your capability. Watch here. This will tell you, like, over here you can select point to point. Turn this thing around a little bit. You can select point to point, like right here. And when you put an entry in, you see right here, let's see, going up a little. So it's showing North America to someplace over in Africa. The red mark's you, okay? The blue mark's where you're trying to communicate with, okay? So let's pick another side. I'm gonna pick something a little bit. I'm gonna say Equatorial Guinea, wherever that is. I don't know, but the map will show it up. Watch. See, that's I must have been where I was at, Equatorial Guinea. But if you look on the other side, over here, this little radio thing, it's kind of color coded. Remember, I'm working with a bad tripod. I mean, this is junk. So much for buying stuff at the hawk shop, or at the pawn shop. Okay, well, I'm going to try to move it over here so y'all can see better. But see on this disc over here, come on, that ain't coming in great. On this disc over here, as you look at it, you look like, say you're on CB. See right out here, it's got 10 and 12 meters. Well, you'd be right in here, right along this outer edge, this next to the last ring here, okay? And you can pretty much count that whatever this says, you're going to be pretty close. It's going to tell you pretty good, like your ability to transmit and receive from that site. Down here at the bottom, you got a guide, or what do you say, a legend that tells you what. In other words, this means what chance you've got of communicating with that. You see, and if you look, you can grade that by looking up top. Let's go back up top. But you go up here and say, at what time of the day? See, this is the different times of the day in 24-hour time. Like what time of the day I could do my best propagation. You notice up here, but it's got up here green, which would be about 30%, down to orange, which would be about 80%. It tells you each one of the bands here. Tells you for each band. Like over here, shows. Let me get it again. We're having another problem. Over here, this shows. And I want y'all to go look at this site, because this is going to be the most helpful piece of software you ever seen. And it's free. But see, like It shows here on 12 meters, 15. See, it's marked by what band you're on. 80 meters. Most of you ham radio guys know what this is. 80 to 10 meters. Okay. Some of you CB guys see. Let's see. Up here is 10 meters. Okay. So 10 and 12 meters. You can pretty much judge like these areas here. You're trying to communicate to that place, Equatorial New Guinea or what the name of that place is. Anyway, it shows you a good chance of being able to communicate. You notice as you go at different times of the day, your chances go down, okay? And it looks like in the daytime, it's not very good, okay? But you see, that, and here's the other part about it. Okay, I think we're in the ballpark. I'm gonna move my screen up a little bit. Anyway, you can set this for the, now you're looking at this scale we got up there. Remember how it was? Say we're using a, and see it shows here we're using a dipole at 33 feet. Let's go up here and use a 3-element Yagi at a reasonable height. Here's a 3-element Yagi at 50 feet, okay? Now you'll notice when you go back to the, I'm not going to move the, raise the tripod up and just go slide this up. Now, looking over here, notice how the bars have changed. Now it's showing you to this place, Equatorial New Guinea. Hold on a minute, I'm going to get a steady grip on this. Okay, it's showing you up here at Equatorial New Guinea. You're showing a very, and there was a lot more communication capability now at different times. They say how the colors are starting to turn more red and everything, you know. In other words, it's showing, especially like up here in the 10, 11 meter band. Well, this is 10 and 12, but you're in here. See, your capabilities are getting better. Now, the thing about the little piece of software, it lets you change your, let me let this down. Y'all gonna get seasick watching this. It lets you change where you're at, where you're transmitting to over here, and it lets you change type of antenna and type of communication you're doing. See, like down here it's got, I'm using 100 watts to get that propagation, but I can say up increase to 500 watts. Now, if you look over here at the little screen, the little disc here, for times, look at how it's fattened up. We're really starting to get some ability to reach those places. Is we all we did was increase our power. So you fellas with the foot warmers for your CB radio, you know, if you running up about 500, you can expect to get there. Now that really changes when you see. Remember now, you're not spending any money on an antenna or your equipment. You're looking at this thing and you're saying, well, if I got this equipment, or if I would get this equipment, this is what it would be doing. Now what I'm using on the other end is, so I figured that's a poor country over there. So for the receiver, the guy that's listening, I'm using a dipole at 33 feet. So I figured that's the minimal that guy can use, you know. Them poor fellows over there, it looks like Africa. That's the minimum they can use, you see. But see, also, I'm using CW as my transportation. I mean, my transmission. I can use single sideband, or I can use AM. See, it's got it in there. Okay, and I'm going on a short path. In other words, not going all the way around the world. You know, what this does is it allows you to kind of play with. You know, you can say, well, I'm going to get me a 3-element. I'm going to get me a omni antenna. You know, then say you one of them guys. Oh no, I'm going to stay with my vertical. Okay, let's go down to a vertical. I will go with let's go with a 7-meter vertical. Now let's see what happens up here. Now you see how that thing changed? Now we got very little chance of getting anywhere. We're just going over here to, what's the name of this place again? Equatorial Guinea. You see what I'm saying? In other words, it tells you, this software will tell you or calculate for your chances of using your antenna and your power and your particular transmission mode or communication mode, how you're gonna, you know, what the chances are of you getting to that place. You see, it tells you what the chances of you getting out to that location. You see, I'm a little too far in. So this is a great piece of software. It's available online. It's called voacap.com. VOACAP.com. This is a great little piece of software to use. Now it has more capability than that. Let's go back. See right here, it'll show you like one of the ones I like is like, what about time of day? Here's what they call a propagation planner. Okay, what it does is it tells you if it'll work here. It tells you what times of day would be good on these different See, let's go down here to 10 meters. So it tells you what time of day and what date that what the best. Let me turn around here a little bit. See what time of day and what kind of transmit receive probability you have. See, in other words, you see all the red, that tells you that you're you have a good chance in that time. Now that's 10 meters, so you can expect 11 meters to be about the same. You ham radio guys, let's get up to ham radio. Let's go try 80 meters. See how 80 meters is? The 80 meters, of course, you're talking about some experienced hams using 80 meters, and most of you 80 meter guys are going to be using a dipole anyway, because I'd hate to think about anybody building a 80 meter Yagi. That'd be a monster. Okay, so anyway, let me go back to the main page. Y'all can look over this, this whole web page, and this got these four, got all these things. A lot of resources. You see. See, we got right here a gray line propagation unit for you guys that operate early in the morning or late in the evening. So you got gray line propagation, and it's like I said, it's got your propagation planner, your DX charts, and your coverage area map, which that pretty much tells you what each one of the bands will do. See, notice down here it's got 11 meter coverage. That's especially for you guys on CB radio. So again, this helps you decide what the current antenna that you got and the power and the rig you got, what the chances are of getting to these places you might want to communicate with. On the other hand, if you're one of those young fellas or one of the fellas like me, financially challenged, is thinking about an antenna, some kind of system, you might say, well, let me see what I can afford and what kind of real estate I got to put this thing on. Maybe I can decide that you can decide what the best plan for you is. It's the most useful tool. It's the most useful tool in all of my years of how radio guys are always talking about this kind of antenna, that kind of transmitter, that kind of power. It's the most useful antenna to save you a lot of money. And when you realize, especially on CB Skip, if you really want to get out there and you want to talk around the world, which you can do very easily with 5 watts on 11 meter, CB band. But of course, naturally, if you got a little foot warmer there, it might help you out a whole lot. Plus, it can make you decide what kind of antenna you want to do skip with. You ham guys, it can tell you with that antenna you got how far you can go. If you're planning to upgrade to a bigger antenna, tell you that too. In other words, what you might do with that bigger antenna or better antenna. But anyway, it saves you a lot of money. It's a hell of a lot of fun to play with. So you guys, how about pass it around? Tell your other fellas about this website. It's voacap.co, and tell the other ham and CB guys about this. Spread the word around. Just tell them, come over to Dino's workshop, and I'll point you, have them look at this little video I put together here. Or just tell them to go to voacap.com. But how about help me out here and subscribe to this channel and tell them where you headed at, where you found out about it at. Click subscribe. I'm always doing stuff on CB radio and ham, and I'm always doing work on hot rods and building stuff. Just one thing or another. Anyway, put me on your subscribe list. Just click subscribe, and every time you see a new number come up there, well, Dino put another one up. I try to keep these videos as interesting as possible, and I don't like wasting my time just surfing the internet. Whereas especially when it comes to ham radio and stuff like that, you want people that are knowledgeable. You want to get good advice, good solid advice, because a lot of times you'll act on what somebody told you and you'll be making a big mistake. This here uses computer predictions, accurate computer predictions, to tell you can do what you want with what you got or what you're intending to get. So like I say, I hope this helps you out. But if you would, click subscribe and come on back to Dino's Workshop, because I'm always got my finger in something, and it's something y'all now and then be interested in. I'm always trying something. So come on back, because I got some more projects. Anyways, thanks, and you guys have a good evening, okay? Bye-bye.